Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. I am just getting this going. No. My camera is just flipped the opposite way to which it usually is, so my haircut looks slightly different because I hate my standard haircut. But good to see you, Outer Signal. Hold on. Oh, hello, Elab. Hello, Samuel. Hello, 12415. I apologise. My setup is a bit janky. How's the audio sounding? Does it sound like okay-ish? I'm sorry it's a little shit, and I'm sorry the picture's a bit shit. As many of you know, I'm currently in Canada and not the UK, which is good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I like Canada a lot, so kind of just enjoying the Canadian vibes. Let's put it like that. Can you hear me though? Can you all hear me okay? Sounds fine. Isaac was complaining about it because we recorded the podcast the other day, but I think it's just because he's an audio pervert. But I've been trying to get a Shure mic over here, but nowhere has it in stock, so it's a bit annoying. But we move. I can make myself full screen actually. Hold on. I need to. Henry would kill me right now because I'm about to drag myself to full screen. Christ, sorry. You're probably going to hear me twice for a second. No, are you? Okay, no, you're not. Hello, Sarah. Need to get you a little Godox light to pop behind your screen. Yeah, I mean, the reason it's not looking great is because I'm in Canada. It is echoey. Yeah, I know. I need to get a Shure mic, but I can't get this mic. I cannot get this mic at all. I can't get it. I've been trying to get this mic. You tinker with the OBS audio filters. No, I haven't tried that. You might be right that there's some looking there. If people keep complaining, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can try and fiddle with the mic. You guys will probably, if you've been here a while, you will notice that this is the shit mic, the one I had for a very long time, that I replaced not so long ago. And yeah, also Sarah, I do know that there's a coming shortage of and major issues. There's also one to do with helium as well. Apparently, it's not looking good. I mean, it's probably one of the things we're going to talk about. I don't know how it will work watching things because I need to work out whether the problems actually pertain to the internet I had in the last place, or whether it's to do with the limits of my MacBook. But we'll see. I think it should all be fine. My standards are low. Good. I'm going to keep up the streaming whilst I'm here. It just won't be as much. I don't know how I'm going to compensate for it. I was thinking about doing daily videos and stuff, which I may still do, but I don't know. Hello, Lemon Mint Cat. Great to see you. Hello, Scythe. Can smell your breath, you're so close. Probably smells like pork balls. Also, and you asked why I'm here. I'm here to see my girlfriend. My girlfriend lives in Canada, not the UK, so I'm in Montreal currently. And she wanted me to tell you that she's making kimchi jjigae, and I don't really care about... I don't really feel that strongly about kimchi jjigae, but she said that people would. I've not had it enough. I was about to say I don't care. I'm always grateful of lovely food being made for me, but I don't know much about this kimchi jjigae. Yo, Elephant Fish, good to see you, man. Pug loving mama, good to see you. I should probably record a... Oh, shit, my thing's not on silent. Oh, this needs to go on silent. Oh, do not disturb. Yep, there we go. Yeah, but we've got a girlfriend, but we never see her. I know, she goes to a different school, I swear. Are you going to be speaking Canadian from now on? Yeah, sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Y'all, I'm sorry about the situation in the Middle East. It's not good, y'all. Sorry about that. My podcast co-host, Chris, is English. That's what Isaac sounds like to me. Kimchi jjigae. Is it going to play?
It is utterly ridiculous.
Yes, it works. I got that little blue dude now. Nice. Enjoy the blue Labubu elephant fish. Good. Thanks for your support as always. And enjoy being a constituent. No, she doesn't say a boot, but Isaac does say a boot. Just listen. Also, Isaac has just uploaded another episode of the podcast where we did with Little Yeg. So, I think it's fine. You pop like little compressor sound gate and limiter after all. Yeah, Isaac doesn't live near Montreal, so he can't really help, but Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get a couple of other things. The room I'm in is a bit of like a small and it's a nice space though, so it's good. It's good. I also am kind of annoyed because I brought my webcam thinking, oh, I'll be able to use it, but I can't. Um,
It is
wow.
utterly ridiculous.
Hey Chris, I gave up caffeine for a month so I could get back on normal sleep schedules, so I could watch more of your streams. Well, Hidden Iron, thanks as always, but that's too much pressure, man. I'm gonna have to stream now. But no, thank you so much for 3 months. Incredible. But yeah, I'm gonna try and stream more. I need to go on this quest to find a little Shure mic. What's the weather like? Oh my fucking god, the weather here is cold. The weather here is, it was like -7 yesterday. It feels like -14 or something. So that was exciting. But yeah, just living at large out in Montreal, really. It's yeah. And you asked me what are some Canadian things I like. I mean, I've told you I don't know what you can call it on this. I like legalized bloody puff bloody pass. That's exciting. I mean, I haven't even done it, and I don't even know if I will this time. I probably will at least once, but I can't believe that that's not a thing in the UK. Like, genuinely, it's so regressive. What other Canadian things do I like? I like my girlfriend. She's Canadian. I like the food. I mean, quite a lot of it's specific to Montreal, like just it being really cheap. And I didn't like the ice storm. That was scary. I was scared I was going to get covered in ice. But I didn't. I survived it because I'm tough. And yeah, so I've just been doing everything. Poutine. I've never eaten poutine. Do you speak French there? They speak French. Yeah. Oh, do they? Yeah. They do speak it, but I don't speak it. I mean, I speak a tiny bit of French. I studied French up until I was 16, but I never put much effort in. I'm pretty good at it for like someone who only studied it till then, though. Like, competent at least. Like, actually saying that, relative, what you got to understand about that is I live in the UK where like it's a talent to even be able to say hello in another language. But yeah. Your chat is so delayed though. Is it? What's so delayed about my chat? Is it Sarah? I don't know. Have you been watching the show Due South? No, we've been watching loads of Broadchurch, which yeah, is good. It's an old show though. Hold on, I'm just putting the link to the new podcast out now. Also, how does my picture look? Because this is literally just the FaceTime camera on the... hold on. Oh, my standard hair. This is just the FaceTime. This is just the FaceTime camera. Sorry as well, I forgot to do a couple of things. So I forgot to say I'm live, but we will get that done. Don't you guys worry. I do miss having my proper setup. I would like to have, a whole ass setup out here, but it's not really, it's not really practical at the moment. But yeah, one day soon. I miss the big ass rig. I can see why the microphone would be a little worse for the podcast, but for this it kind of feels fine. Sticker text. Watch the new episode here. Yeah. Okay, right. Canada gave us Catherine O'Hara, John Candy. Is Jim Carrey Canadian? Is that true? Wow. Horrendous lighting, but who cares? Yeah, I'm probably going to have to get a couple of ring lights. Poutine is not overrated. Put some perspective on Quebecois culture. It also Quebec gave the world, who I was shocked, was Leonard Cohen. I didn't know that he was from Quebec, but there's a Leonard Cohen house. I am sorry about the lighting. That is probably the main issue going on right now. I'm gonna just buy a couple of ring lights, I think, because that's the only fix for that. Like, I could try hair routine. My hair routine is nothing. Is wake up in the morning. Look at that. Wow. I got mood lighting up in here. We can get it up like that, or we can get it down like this. Which is better? Somewhere in the middle? Screw it. We'll sit down. Ugh. Your setup is solid. Yeah, I mean, I know. That's why people are here, which is the main thing. Montreal gave the world Leonard Cohen. Did you move to Canada? No. I'm just here for 3 weeks.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Enjoy the legalized oregano. Broadchurch is fantastic. It also ripped my heart out and stomped on it. 10 out of 10. My mum and I watched it for David Tennant. You know, I don't know if I told you guys this. I saw David Tennant. He was filming. I saw him filming a show. And, I wanted to go say hi, but I didn't. I saw him in person, though. He was very close to me. I took some photos. If you need any light recs, hit me up. I was probably just going to go with cheap stuff, like, you know, the 2 I have at home. I think I'm going to buy a 3rd for when I'm at home, but it's all quite cheap. And Broadchurch is good. Just saying hi, take care. Thanks, Sarah. Nice to see you. Also, Mediocre, fucking incredible that you have been here for... fucking incredible that you have been here for 9 months. Thank you so much for your support, and I will enjoy some, potentially. Middle of the big park downtown. It's beautiful there. I didn't know that. Maybe we should go. I saw David Tennant eating his breakfast in Chiswick. Really? Wow. Wait, why are we in Canada? We are in Canada at the moment. Going to get wasted today to celebrate. Congratulations, Joe Mama. Enjoy the boozing the hell up. Fair play to you. Have you heard of Professor Jiang? Seems like a new Jordan Peterson. I you know what? I've been on a bit of an up and down with Professor Jiang, because I think he's doing a bit. I think this might be some like joke that maybe like a lot of Chinese people are having on Westerners, that he says some things that are semi-true and then says other things that are just complete and utter nonsense to take the piss. I'm sure some of you saw him on, I think he was on Piers Morgan, and he was like, the Strait of Hormuz will collapse the global financial system, and then the American men won't have their OnlyFans, and they'll go and revolt. And like, obviously that's not real political analysis. I think he's I think he's joking. I think he's actually doing a joke. Well, that's the thing, Jules, that I went from the position of like thinking, oh, okay, he's just some guy who says some pretty basic stuff and he's Chinese and he writes on a whiteboard, so people in the West are like, oh my God, look at this guy. But when he was making those jokes, I was like, okay, that's funny. Because he said previously that like 40% of women in American society do OnlyFans. But then he starts talking about how, like, actually, you know, all the men will revolt when you take away their OnlyFans. Oh, he also denies. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know if he's just a kook, or I don't know if he's making fun. I'm not here to sing his praises and tell you that he's like really clever. I think he's just doing a bit, and I think maybe people that he knows or like a group of people on the internet think he's funny and think that it's funny that Americans like see someone who just says basic stuff and they're like, this guy is a genius, oh my God, he can point out that closing the Straits of Hormuz will do something bad. And yeah, he's a high school teacher. Yeah, that's the thing, like, to be fair, compare it, Nick Shirley is like, you know, someone who's Nick Shirley is like, I don't even know, Pete Hegseth and in intellectually compared to Jiang, where Jiang, even though he's not the smartest of people, is like, you know, a titan. He's like Plato, Aristotle.
It is utterly ridiculous.
Oh God, that doesn't sound so good. Hold on, I'm gonna see if that popped up. Did that pop up and show? Oh, hold on. There we go. Look. It's doing it. Lemon Mint Cat. Hold on. I'm getting a report in from a reporter on the ground. Lemon Mint Cat. My girlfriend is from a different school. No, you wouldn't know it. She is from Canada. Deaf not an excuse from a middle schooler. Yeah, bro, it's not. I swear she exists. The link has been posted. Thanks for donating, and as always, good to see you. I mean, we have got news to cover today, but like part of me just enjoys interacting with the chat. Yeah, I pinned it. Sorry it took me so long. Yeah, I know. I know. I agree with you, Pale Driver. I don't think he's a really smart guy. And like, what? I mean, Zay Squirrel tweeted something pretty crazy about the about Kurds, which I didn't like, but they had a very strong prediction that was like far more accurate, which at the time was like, yeah, I wouldn't be so pessimistic, and they got some things wrong, but they were like, America's going to kill Khamenei, America or Israel will kill Khamenei very soon. They have religious Orthodox homeschool kids who are a bit too dim. It was actually Shelley. I don't know if you don't really meet many people who go to homeschool in the UK, or I didn't. Glad to see you from Montreal. Yeah, I love Montreal, and I like that this is kind of working. Chris is actually at Isaac's house pretending he has a girlfriend, making him kimchi. Well, if I was at Isaac's house, I'd probably have a better setup, and he'd be punching the fuck out of me and telling me to use a better microphone. He'd be like, bro, the reverb is crazy, y'all. Sorry about the reverb. Shit's crazy, you know? But yeah, I don't know, that Jiang guy, I really enjoyed that little segment I saw. I think it's a bit, to be honest, but I didn't know I saw his thing where he was saying like that China is finished and that the only countries that will rise up are ones that have been destroyed, which feels pretty intriguing. But yeah, to be honest, guys, I was like, when I was he got Pax Judaica. Yeah, I've seen people talking about Pax Judaica. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think America wants to retreat from the Middle East. I think that this is something that probably, I mean, this was apparently came out today that J.D. Vance was saying, oh, I don't want to, J.D. Vance was apparently the one who's dissenting. I mean, there's a reason he's not been appearing. He's clearly cutting himself off from the Trump administration. And I think that maybe what they're thinking is they want to run a much more actually plausible isolationist with Israel as the dominant superpower. Because I think, like, ultimately, it's pretty obvious that in the Middle East, that Israel can't confront Iran, and that by America... There was actually a Haaretz article talking about this, where they were like... And I think this was a bit of cope, to be honest. I really do. They described what Israel is doing as mowing the lawn, like their operations in Gaza, that it's about militarily degrading, it's about militarily degrading the Iranians rather than a regime change. The reason I think that's cope is Israel has said 2 times and has clearly tried to do regime change and failed. But, come on, Chris. That's Bibi's Israel's goal. What do you mean is Bibi and Israel's goal? What's Bibi and Israel's goals? I think they want regime change. I think, yeah, the copium, I think, lies in this notion that Israel didn't want regime change. Because the problem is like, mowing the lawn has not worked. I'm sure many of you have seen. This time... I once again, I am not in any way endorsing the pager operation. I think the pager operation was disgusting. I think it was incredibly, should have been seen as for the crime that it was. However, I do think it was very effective at, crippling Hezbollah quite quickly. However, the fact that Hezbollah didn't go and has seemingly been able to reconstitute kind of shows that this mowing the lawn operation only really works in Gaza, where Hamas can't really get weaponry in very easily, and so you can degrade them. But I think in the context of like Lebanon, Hezbollah have shown you can't really just keep mowing the lawn. Hezbollah lost Syria, which is like, I don't know how they've got weapons. I think it must be that they must have moved towards manufacturing inside the country. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. I don't know that they're still somehow getting weapons in. But anyway, it looks like Israel has now resorted to just its classic policy of, we can't score any wins, so let's just mass kill civilians. Like, apparently the proportion of civilians are just being killed on a way higher level. Like, particularly, I think it's children are at a higher level than men again. because this is just Israel's strategy. Like, Israel's strategy in Lebanon is probably the place where it'll work most, because obviously Hezbollah's base are Shias, but at the same time, I don't think people in Lebanon, apart from like, you know, a small amount, will be like, yeah, actually occupying our land is really awesome. Thank you, Israel. They recycle a ton of unexploded munitions too. What Hezbollah do? I guess that's also such a dangerous thing to do, by the way. Apparently during the Vietnam War, loads of people just died doing that. So, yeah, trying to keep my chin up. Yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. You're in Lebanon, or your family's there, right? Mint Cat. I remember you mentioning quite a few times. But it's tough. It's tough because, you know, I don't think Israel can win against what it's done. I think Hezbollah have already shown quite a pretty strong resistance, and they played their biggest trump cards months ago. But, like, at the same time, they can just mass kill and displace. And that's what Israel does. They've displaced, I think it's, a sixth of the population in Lebanon? Is that it? They've displaced, like, 800,000, I think, already. Which feels like more like a tenth, but, you know, yeah. Has gotten such an insane amount of anti-Shia propaganda. She told me 2 days ago that the Jews invented Shiism. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that. Like, obviously, you know, being a white boy, you meet some people, you know, who I grew up with have crazy parents who are thinking about the most insane conspiracies. Like, some of them, you know, get anti-Semitic. Some of them get like just crankish. Like, I have someone who I grew up with, I know, who had a conspiracy theory. They really do believe that giants used to rule the world. That like they really believe it. But I can't even imagine the conspiracies that, you know, Middle Easterners are cooking up. Middle Eastern aunties. If anything is being degraded here, it is the Iron Dome and the perceived supremacy of American military hardware. Well, I mean, yeah, like, once again, like, you had this thing of, on the first few days, the US was like, we've got aerial superiority. They don't. They don't have aerial superiority, which to me is, I'm sorry, I think we've got to sit here and be frank. That's pretty surprising. They're flying like similar amounts of sorties to the first Gulf War. In fact, they're flying huge amounts. I think it's like 1,000 per day. They're bombing everything they can get their hands on. They killed the leadership on the first day. And Iran is now steadily, because everyone was like, oh my God, there is gold on Twitter. There is gold on Twitter of like people on the 28th being like, 4-day operation. Pretty simple. Not war. This is peace. And we're on day 14 of the special operation. This is catastrophic. This has gone catastrophically wrong, by the way. Because I know some people are just like, well, I know Trump's coping by saying, well, Americans are going to make money. The problem's not whether America makes money, by the way. The problem is whether the global supply chain breaks down. Because the issue isn't like, you know, the main issue that we would have right now is liquefied natural gas. This is insane, by the way. When the Ukraine stuff kicked off in 2021 and 2022, the Western governments in like Europe were all like, oh shit, we have no liquefied natural gas. And they built their stocks back up, and now they've let them go to basically zero again, and liquefied natural gas is cut off. The only saving grace of that is we're out of the winter, so, you know, European countries are slightly better, although I have heard that in the UK the temperature's a bit down for my family today. But that's a major issue. And then you have this other fucking factor of, you know, places like Pakistan. I didn't know this, by the way. I don't know if any of you have seen this. Bangladesh has had to suppress fuel riots. Did anyone see this? That they've suppressed fuel riots? That Pakistan is instituting all these different measures? Like, there are problems already emerging. The Americans have fucked up hard. But thanks to the donation, Elephant Fish, and then I've got another. Right. Can you say you support Hamas and the Houthis now that you're in Canada? Or do Keir Starlin's woke Britain laws still apply? Mate, I was already getting questioned at the border. Like, they were like, what do you do for work? And I was like, I'm an educator. I'm a thought changer. I'm a disruptor. I'm a creator. I'm a thought provoker. I'm a businessman. I'm a podcaster. I'm a videographer. I'm an editor. I'm a TikToker. I'm an Instagrammer. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a Twitcher. I'm a TikTok liver. And they were just like, what do you do for work? And I was like, I work for myself. That's what I actually said. And they just kept asking me questions. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to be saying that just because of legally. But I think the only context in which that word merits any meaning is if you admit that Israel are the mega terrorists. Because if it's about targeting civilians, then obviously, well, no, I think that's unfair. I think Israel are like up here, you know, like pretty mega terrorists. But then I guess America are just like omega terrorists, and then Britain are on the decline. Our levels of terrorism once upon a time were unbelievable. But yeah, thank you, Zach Tren, for the $5. Thanks for supporting it. But I am going to err on the side of caution with that question. Yeah, I forgot. I'm a quirked up businessman. He's an idea. I'm an idea creator. I'm a free thinker. But yeah, I don't know. Someone mentioned that apparently all universities are closed in Bangladesh. What is this all about? This is the problem, by the way. It's not like all of this chest puffing from fucking Europe and like all of these... Oh, Europe's not chest puffing! I don't know if any of you have seen. France and Italy are apparently now negotiating with Iran for safe passage through the Straits of Hormuz. Bro, what? What? Iran is just going to get some kind of boon. Russia just got all of its shit unsanctioned. They be unsanctioning Russia's shit, you know? Yes. I lead the constituents. Yeah, I should have said that. I should have said I lead my constituents. Hold on. I need to get this gum out of my mouth. Oh, I'll tell you something else I like in Canada. Party mix. Are any of you aware of this stuff? I love this stuff. I can't stop eating it. It's like, I'll respond to the donations in a second. I'm just like, whew, this party mix shit. Oh my God, I'm getting up on that business. Been a while since I caught a live or a stream. Hope you're well. Free Palestine. I assume you mean by the Palestine flag. Yeah, I'm good. I'm in Canada. I'm kind of like workshopping how I'm going to do streams. I'm thinking about making it more like a kind of show sort of thing, you know, where I do like a stream for maybe 2 hours and we cover the big news of that day, and there's a bit more chat interaction and stuff than like at home, because obviously at home, like streaming for 3 hours, you can cut 4 hours, you can prop it up with videos. But I'm all good. I hope you guys are liking this way of streaming, and I will improve the setup a little bit. It's just I don't want to leave my girlfriend with so much shit to carry around. But one day I'll have a proper setup over here and we'll be all Gucci. I think I'd like it over here because I can stream in the mornings and get it done with like 3-4 hours. Because I'd keep my regular time, I think. But thanks for the $5, MKMT, and great to see you. And yeah, I'm all good. You should look up Frances Perkins. She's the GOAT. Casual sheep... Sorry, God. I've never heard of Frances Perkins, but thank you, I will. It's like Doritos, Cheetos, pretzels, and Ringolos. Yeah. I love it. I love that shit. Is party mix the same as festive mix they sell at UK? Mix of popcorn? No. Kind of similar, but this stuff is way better. This stuff is so far. Thank you. My girlfriend has given it to me to show. This. Oh. Cheetos, rolled gold, sun chips. Wow. I love it. I'd be eating that stuff. I've eaten like 3 bags maybe. That's the 3rd bag, so I've not eaten 3, but I love that. Getting Chinese food. I have actually had Chinese food whilst I've been here, and it is so good. So much better than what I've had in the UK. A truly nice... Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, you say junk. This microphone is a piece of junk. Is it munchies? Nah. Still. It ain't munchies. Still. I should probably say I'm live, but I can't be bothered, so let's move. I think girlfriend is watching, or she heard me say it at least. I'm getting hungry, bro. I'm hungry as shit. Okay, right. Should we do a bit of news, or should we keep talking, or what do you want? I mean, we're kind of doing the news anyway. Doing up the news. Oh, actually, you know what? Are you on vacation or did you move there permanently? More like vacation, visiting. So that's why I've been a little bit slow. I've also been really tired. We watched High and Low last night, and I just kept falling asleep around all of my, around like a group of my girlfriend's friends, and I just kept snoring during this film, even though it was really good and I was really enjoying it. I bet Chris loves a Werther's original. Master D-Roy, I feel like you're calling me an old man. What a heinous comment. But I did like them when I was a kid. Bit of news. We will do a bit of news. Anything light-hearted? An American plane went down over Iraq. The genociders had their plane fall down. No, we haven't talked about the refueling plane crashing. I wish Drac was here. Drac would be offering some analysis as to why the plane was taken down by given a better explanation, because I've seen some photos. Of it, and it looked pretty bad. I don't know how that happens. I don't know. You know what? Part of me is starting to be more convinced that the US is just lying. Yes, I have seen this RSF stuff. I want to look into it because I've seen a couple of people talking about it, Jules, but that's it. I've seen people talking about it. I haven't kept up with it. It does look, from what I'm seeing, like the SAF is beating them back a bit, which is, I'm never going to sit there and be like, oh no, the genocidaries are getting beaten. But I do genuinely believe that's true. Because apparently this was, in fact, I'll show you the first article of the day. I read this yesterday. I didn't read it very intently. Look. Is it going to work? Oh, yes. Now we go over here. Sorry, guys, you are not going to believe the things I'm up to. Where is our good friend Drac? I actually have no idea. But, well, I mean, probably getting on with his life. Or their life. I don't know if he's ever said he, but I assume he's a man. I assume, but maybe I shouldn't. They. Gulf trios review sovereign investments to offset Iran war impact. I saw someone suggesting that they've lost $15 billion. That these people have lost $15 billion already as a result of what America's done. People keep saying that apparently the Gulf states are never going to be the same with Iran. I don't think that's true. I don't think the Gulf states are going to, because they've spent years doing rapprochement. Iran didn't launch some crazy war. They always knew that this is what would happen. If the US carried out an unplanned attack and bombed Iran without thinking through some of the major consequences, then this might happen. I think they're pissed at the US, because I also think they could have kept some stuff open for longer and chose not to. They know as well that, $15 billion in new contracts. Lost 15 billion. I think that they've already lost 15 billion in terms of oil. I also don't think, I don't think Trump is going to have collapsed the AI bubble. I think it will collapse under its own weight when you kind of realize that it can't do the things that they said it would. I think that's the biggest question about AI. Like what it actually ends up meaning or doing, and like whether it's just, an invention that's kind of useful for some stuff, or it's an invention that's like the printing press or like the internet and things like that have fundamentally altered human life. I don't think it's going to have the capacity that people thought it would. It does seem it has already started altering human life in very bad ways. Have any of you seen that? Like, I don't know if you would have seen this, because obviously it's getting subsumed in a huge amount of other stuff. In the Tumbler Ridge shooting, apparently the person who carried it out, the school shooting in Canada, apparently they were just chatting to OpenAI about how to do it. Products are really good at turning energy into waste. Well, you're right too. I think it'd be more accurate to say they accelerate the collapse. Yeah, I don't know. I think it has the capacity to change some aspects of work life that, addresses really menial tasks that people are doing. And I think maybe that's positive. But I think, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's like quantum computers. When will that ever happen? What will it do? What will it be able to do? And yeah, I think, by the way, I think if you have no morals, I think if you have like no care about what's going on, I think you could make a really simple career on social media out of feeding you AI chat points, like, you know, pumping shit out. I think you could set up AI bots to literally run news aggregators for people. I genuinely do. The only problem is the fucking hallucinations. And I think that there was, I don't know enough about this, but I heard that apparently they'll hallucinate forever, and that there's no option to stop them hallucinating. Oh, God. Al Jazeera says Hegseth claims injured in US Israeli strikes today. McGee, I don't think that's right. I think he was injured a while ago. I think he was injured quite a long time ago. I think he was injured in the original strikes. If he was injured again, I'd be surprised. And has he died? Al Jazeera. Let's have a look. God, you know what? It might be just looking at Al Jazeera to try and find the point you're talking about. Hegseth did talk about that today, McGee. So maybe there's something I missed, but he was saying that he was disfigured or disabled or something. But Khamenei himself had a disability. I didn't know this. That's why he always had his arm down by his side. He was injured in a bombing. Trump is possibly collapsing the US intentionally. Tech feudalists want that, and some are part of the Trump admin. Mate, I'm going to be honest with you here. I think, like, bold predictions like that, I genuinely think Trump has been surrounded by sycophants all over the world, and I think the sycophants who did this to just refused to do... Sorry, excuse me. I think the sycophants refusing to call him out for anything has created this really, really, really problematic situation in which... have created this really problematic situation in which Trump has just done this and shown so much hubris and belief that he would get this done in a few seconds, and he's not. This will have fucked Trump's legacy forever, and I assume he doesn't care because he's going to die and Kai Trump can keep making shitty videos. But, like, look at this. War benefits no one and harms many. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says that the US-Israel war on Iran should end as soon as possible as the conflict benefits no one and harms many economically, including us. Asked whether Europeans would make direct contact with Iran to ask for this strait to be reopened, Merz said, "We are making every effort to end this war. All diplomatic channels are being used." By the way, does anyone, like, I'm not going to lie, sitting here and having a bit of a think about this, thinking about having a moment to sit here and think about this. I think Europe's in a pretty bad situation. They all sanction the IRGC. They all have the toughest sanctions imaginable on Iran, so Iran can't really get much out of them. They can't really get, like, you know, they can't really sell their oil. So what are they going to say? What, you give us money and we'll let you go through? And also, this has pointed out something that I really thought was worth highlighting. Germany has been a staunch supporter of the US and Israel. During the unprovoked Israeli assault on Iran last year, Merz said Israel was doing the dirty work for us all. Yeah, look what happens when you actually... look what happens to you now. Well done, you fucking moron. Yeah, I mean, Europe is just showing why they need to get the fuck away from America, but that we all knew that already. That's no big surprise or anything. You know, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like, wow, we're a genius. Anyone's a genius for working that out. We knew that months ago. It's also, by the way, funniest reversal in the world. First day, oh, glorious leader Trump, well done on your bombing campaign, Canada. Oh, we might join you in the bombing campaign. 14 days in. Can you please end it? Because we got no fucking money. Nah, Europe is much more fucked than you realise. I mean, Sarah mentioned it earlier. All of this fertilizer stuff is going to have a trickle downstream. The fact that they haven't replenished their liquefied natural gas stocks is bad. Also, it took years to get to this position where, Biden instituted this policy of allowing India to buy Russian oil to benefit from the sanctions. look what's happened now. Europe has spent years trying to degrade Russia through sanctions, through funding Ukraine and stuff. Now Russia is raking in hundreds of millions more every single day. That's more months of this funded. That's more ability of Putin to pay, people good salaries to go and do this. More money for weaponry. The US is burning through. Also, by the way, very obvious. Actually, you know what? The most insane thing, and I've seen a bit of reporting on this. I've been a bit off the last few days because I've been watching fucking Broadchurch. Okay, I've been watching fucking Broadchurch. The thing is that when it comes to the launchers and stuff, I was kind of buying that at the start. I was like, okay, yeah, the launchers, that doesn't look good for Iran. The launchers all being gone and destroyed is bad, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Iran launched huge attacks at the start, but what's the point of launching huge attacks now? It's very obvious that they degraded radars, that they've degraded missile defense systems. Dubai's still getting struck, in my understanding. Like, Dubai is literally being struck by Iranian drones today. They are attacking the Straits of Hormuz. It's very obvious that Iran can do the things that it needs to do, and it's actually the Israelis, the Gulf, and the Americans who are in a bit of a bind now, who are like, shit, we saw this. This is by the way, once again, I said that Haaretz article was code. Two times, the Israelis have said, time for uprising in Iran. And it didn't work. Okay, so, no, I haven't. The day in the life of an enshittificator. One issue, Elephant Fish, is, last time we were here, I remember we tried to do some Ethan Klein slopaganda. Unfortunately, as we were trying to do it, the thing just wasn't working. So I'm hoping that the internet here will allow us to watch YouTube videos, but I'll check out what you're saying. Dubai better missile defense systems. I just understood what you're saying. I was trying to work out the pun politics. You're back with evil and wicked puns. Dubai can't function with this war ongoing. No, and I don't think it'll ever be able to function again. I think the problem is I don't think this will be the end. I think the US has failed to get rid of Iran, and all of this stuff can be rebuilt and there is money, but Iran will learn too. Iran will learn how you strike. Iran will learn how you can pressure the US, how you can cause these major issues. And all of a sudden, the thin veneer of safety is gone. The thin veneer is gone. That's it. This is not this magical Labubu chocolate airport. The Sheikh Labubu Dubai chocolate airport Zayed is screwed. That's what you get as a fake country, GCC cities. I mean, you're not quite wrong. Like, UAE shouldn't really exist. I mean, as I say, I don't believe in any country, but ultimately, the UAE is the Trucial States, which was set up by the British. You can look into this. The British gave them their own flags, the Trucial States. We gave them, I think we made them sing national anthems and stuff. Edward Said's sister writes about this. I don't know if we made them sing national anthems, but anyway, maybe that's wrong. But we definitely did make them all fly flags. And, it's just, I don't know. Just looking at it, it's kind of like, it's pretty fucking crazy that this has happened. I genuinely do think that putting a bumbling idiot in charge of America like Pete Hegseth is pretty fucking funny. Yeah, I don't get the appeal of the UAE. I don't. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to hide my camera real quick, guys. Sorry. Just need to blow my damn nose. Well, I think it's also right that American propaganda really brainwashed Americans to think Iran and China are peasant countries. I think, like, also, America is staffed by a lot of people who believe that they're on a religious war and that these people have been increasingly powerful and they've messed with an international system that has always had checks and breaks on that kind of stuff. Like, George Bush may have talked about a crusade, but, you know, his Secretary of Defense was not a guy who takes it one step further than even Bush's words. Like, Pete Hegseth is a Christian fascist. Like, he's straight up an extremist. He is... He believes that he's on a fucking holy war. He does. And I have no doubt that there are figures within the Iranian government, within the Iranian military who think this way, but I don't think you've necessarily had someone who is just as much of like a drunk moron as Pete Hegseth is. Like, it's really, really something. I have got to say, Pete Hegseth is just a straight-up woman-abusing, drunken, racist moron who probably thinks that the Iranians live in caves and want to kill him because he's white or something. Pay the media to put out. Pay dumb enough to pay. Did any of you see? Actually, I was thinking we might be a little messed up. Have any of you seen? This is one of the craziest clips that you will see. I think, in fact, it's one that I might make a TikTok about. It is that wild, which I have to start doing again. Have any of you seen this? Hold on, let's pull this up.
Keep advancing, no quarter, no mercy for our enemy. They're confused, and we know it. Our response. We will keep pressing. We will keep pushing, keep advancing. No quarter, no mercy for our enemies. Yet some in this crew, in the press, just can't stop. Allow me to make a few suggestions. People look up at the TV and they see banners, they see headlines. I used to be in that business, and I know that everything is written intentionally. For example, a banner or a headline, Mideast war intensifies, splashing on the screen the last couple of days, alongside visuals of civilian or energy targets.
By the way, sorry, I didn't want to pause this. I mean, he says a lot of stupid shit. Of course, there's a purpose in this. There is a purpose in why news outlets put out what they want to. But simultaneously, this choosing Mideast war intensifies. Yeah, it categorically has. Imagine problematizing that and being like, this is an indication that the press is bad, that the woke mainstream media is ruining things. It's like, what do you mean? This is a pretty fucking benign and true thing. The Mideast war has intensified. Oh, I don't think you're going to believe where he goes with this.
Targets that Iran has hit, because that's what they do. What should the banner read instead? How about Iran increasingly desperate? Because they are.
Bro, like, yeah, Iran is desperate, but so are you. So are you. It's pretty obvious you fucked it all up. Hey, man, thank you for the that's too much Arabic for me to read. But thank you so much for the gifted, man. Thank you so much. We'll probably have to go on a bit of a membership drive once I'm back. But yeah. Well, we don't have to, but I always appreciate it. Thank you so much for your incredibly kind donation. But no, like, I'm sorry. We did this podcast with Yeg. She was like, "Oh, Trump doesn't want regime change," and like I was just like, "Well, does he or doesn't he? Does he or doesn't he?" Because some of one of the Israelis, I think his name is Danny Sifernowitz. Let me look that up. I'm gonna look that up. I've also got popcorn in my teeth. Or it might not be popcorn. Yeah, Danny Citrinovitz. Danny Citrinovitz was like, he was talking about maybe there will be regime change, maybe there won't be regime change. No, they want regime change. They want a pliant dictator there.
They know it, and so do you, if it can be admitted. Or more fake news from CNN. Reports that the Trump administration underestimated the Iran war's impact on the Strait of Hormuz. Patently ridiculous, of course. For decades, Iran has threatened shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This is always what they do, hold the strait hostage. CNN doesn't think we thought of that. It's a fundamentally unserious report. The sooner David Ellison takes over that network, the better. They're
By the way, I said for ages, I was like, oh, I maybe it's that I've not posted, but like, I have been posting on Instagram and TikTok, some of you have seen. I had a video do pretty well. It has like maybe 35,000 likes on Instagram, and the amount of likes on Instagram is literally more than the views that it has on TikTok. The platform is dead. The platform does not work. But the platform is dead. David Ellison is killing it, and they are taking it away from you just because people talked about Palestine on there. It won't fix the problem. It won't change people's opinions about Israel. They are going to forever be negative. But like, listening to this guy just say this quiet part out loud of, yeah, I want my mate to take over, so they only publish the US is smashing Iran in war. Also, I think, just another thing to note here. I think that, like, it's kind of indicative of one of the problems, that more than anything, this kind of shows you the problem and the culture around Trump. This is just sycophancy. Like, this is sycophancy. It is very evident that the US has run aground, that the US has got problems, that the US did genuinely believe that they were going to win very quickly. They don't even want the public knowing that they have problems. And it's one of these issues about the satellite age. It's one of the issues about having outlets, because I'm sure some of you saw this as well. You remember so far we've heard that only 6 Americans have killed. That number has gone up to 12 after the oil tanker, the oil refueling bus tanker thing, the air refueling thing crashed last night. So we're now at 12 American soldiers killed. Well, one of the things that it mentioned was that in the Kuwait strike, the first one that killed those 6 Americans, there were 30 people still in hospital a few days ago. A lot of them have serious traumatic brain injuries, things that they'll probably never recover from. And a lot are wounded in ways where they'll probably be on disability for the rest of their life. And these people are just like, nothing is wrong. We don't want any information getting out. And I think for Israel was suppressing casualties of certain events. And I think, I think in Israel it's harder. America's a country of hundreds of millions of people. You know, it's hard for it to get out. Isn't it 14? Is that the number? It must be 13? No, it's 13 apparently. There were 7 killed. I don't know where that 7th came from. But yeah, I mean, I think it's high. I think it's higher. It's 13. Have you tried upscroll? There's no alternative. There's no alternative to TikTok for what it was. I don't care anymore. Like, I'll post Instagram videos, but this is like, this is what I work on. This is how, like, this is where my income comes from, and I prefer this than I ever did to TikTok. You know, I actually have fun on here, like, in terms of doing more what I want to do. TikTok is like, oh my god, can I come up with the catchiest reel ever? Like, with this, I can talk about what I want to without having to think about a catchy fucking reel. You know? I mean, also, just quite clear reviews here of you people saying that Jules and Johnny saying that upscrolled is fucking ass. I'm sure it is ass. I don't know. TikTok was good for what it was, but yeah. By the way, this press conference provided another golden video, which I'll show you now. Hold on. Oh, fuck me. You know when you got something stuck in your teeth and you want to get it out? This is the best video, perhaps.
The only thing prohibiting transit in the Straits right now is Iran shooting at shipping. It is open for transit should Iran not do that. The only thing prohibiting transit
the only thing preventing the attacks, the only thing preventing shipping is the attacks on shipping. The Iran preventing shipping. That is, that's what that is. Insane. This is just who is writing this stuff? This is the problem with firing everyone. Like, look, it must feel pretty fun and epic for these guys to fire everyone for being woke and gay or whatever. But it probably turns out that there are quite a few woke and gay people who are pretty fucking horrible and are very happy to help you mass kill brown people and are more competent at it than brown morons, you know? brown morons, excuse me, than drunk morons. You know? They are more than happy to help you kill brown people. That sounded really bad what I just said. Sorry for the slip. But yeah, I don't know. You can find woke and gay people who are just more competent at killing brown people than these drunk morons. Like, I'm sorry, it's true. Like, it just is. There are many horrible people who are woke. You know, like by woke I kind of mean lived out. Freudian slip. Yeah, it was a Freudian slip. Parapraxis. But no, you can find your morons to make you do this. Oh, sorry, it sounds bad. It was just my mistake. I apologise sincerely. I meant drunk morons, but I guess, you know, I was thinking about him browning out, maybe. Maybe that's the excuse. That's getting clipped. Yeah, maybe it is. I can't wait until one day my life is just governed by people clipping me. They're trying not to win. I mean, it's like this thing of just... it's just this thing of... it's just this thing of, like, pretending that it matters whether you're overweight in the US military. Do you think sitting there and pressing the button to blow up children is better done by some guy who can do 100 press-ups in 4 sets, or someone who is, like, you know, maybe slightly overweight but is the best at killing brown people ever? I don't know. Yeah, of course. I mean, you can find plenty of people of color who are willing to do exactly that same thing, who are, you know, sell themselves as pretty woke and pretty moral and pretty acceptable individuals, but they're not. What will you do in the slop tubers? I will react and bring them all down, bring them to heel. The slop tubers, I mean, that is. God, I like Hegseth. He looks sick in this.
Fused, and we know it. Our response, we will keep...
Fred Wellman, this is fascism. Thanks, Fred. Died in Saudi Arabia, what they called... Oh, that was it! That was it! Yeah, there's 2 that have died from, like, have died in a non-hostile incident. And then 1 who died in a health problem, so yeah. How'd you die in a non-hostile incident? I be getting in hostile incidents all the time, but I ain't dying. I pulled my trousers up and now they're stuck. Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell. I mean, Condoleezza Rice is advising them on how to do war crimes better. But yeah, I mean, Hegseth has been on a roll. He was also talking about This is Hegseth talking about the Straits of Hormuz. This stuff is catastrophic, by the way. Like, I mean, I think it's hard to put into perspective just how badly things are going right now for the US. Like, this isn't even, you know, there's a lot of copium from people who support, like, Iran, who support Hamas, who support, you know, the Houthis, which of course I don't, because, like, I'm like in the UK and the law, and I hate them because of the law and stuff. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of people where there's cope. Right now, this is just not cope at all. This is not cope. This is not hopium. This is literally just like, yeah, Iran has put the US in an incredibly difficult bind, and their strategy is working to a degree that probably I didn't think even they would have thought possible. That you wouldn't have thought that the US hadn't, like, had a stronger contingency. It seems. So this, by the way, this did happen once before. This kind of happened in the 80s during the tanker wars, in the Iran-Iraq war, and there were problems in the Straits of Hormuz. And Iran had these things called Chinese silkworm missiles that they would fire at boats, and they could destroy a whole tanker very quickly, which was previously something that they couldn't do. And you know, there was like this situation in which the Iranians were, you know, there were issues in the Strait of Hormuz. They didn't block it fully, but it had major knock-on effects. This is just a straight up blocking it. Yeah, when they close the Gay of Hormuz, oh my god, Lindsey Graham is going to be like, we need to nuke the Iranians. They closed the Gay hub of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, right here.
Mr. Secretary, you have said that the U.S. military has essentially aerial superiority, naval superiority over Iran, yet we're not escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Why? How did you not plan for this?
We planned for it. We recognize it because ultimately we want to do it.
By the way, other thing could be proving that Israel, this was mentioned a lot later on. It was in maybe Wall Street Journal, New York Times. Anyway, they spoke about, and I've mentioned this before, they spoke about how the Israelis called senior Iranian generals and they said, you and your family are going to die unless you defect now. And they did this during the 12-day war. And they said, if you do it and record yourself saying it, we will, we won't kill you. There are no videos of this happening. There is no example of this happening at all. Israel wanted regime change then. They want it now. The US and Israel thought that by bombing that the protesters would have come out into the street and supported it. But I think ultimately one of the things that just isn't accounted for is people do not like their country's sovereignty being threatened. I mentioned this in the podcast, by the way. Check out new episode of No Politic here after this. I mentioned this in the podcast. So during the Iran-Iraq war, there are a huge amount of Air Force pilots who are associated with the Shah. They were actually really tightly associated because the Shah was a pilot himself. He loved them. And the revolution imprisoned all of them. Khomeini hated them. They were torturing them. They were like just, executing like other pilots. Then the Iran-Iraq war happened and they just freed them because they were like, we need you to fly planes. These people were literally just in planes. They could have just flown them away. Some of them did. Only a really small number of people defected, and just flew away. The rest of them fought for the entire time against the Iraqis. They flew planes constantly. They were core to the Iranians not being blown out of the water. These were people who were literally being tortured and they rallied around the flag and they were like, fuck this, we're fighting. And they could have run. What could the Iranians have done? These were people who were trained pilots, very highly skilled pilots. The only people capable of flying the American and dealing with the American equipment, because obviously, the people associated with the revolution wouldn't have had the ability or the skill to do it as of yet. And it requires a lot of training and also working with the Americans. But they fought against the Iraqis.
Sequentially in a way that makes the most sense for what we want to achieve and ensure that we're sending the right signals to the world when we do so. So when Chris Wright speaks or we speak, it's based on a full assessment of what we're up against, what we want to say to the world, how that we want them to see and understand the conflict. It's like this whole idea of the war widening. That's what the press wants to make it look like it's widening and chaos is ensuing. No, we're actually closing in on grabbing hold of and controlling what objectives we want to achieve and how we want to achieve them. It's called shaping operations and setting the conditions. But when you shape the environment, you don't always tell. Foolish political leaders and foolish military leaders of the past will hang an exact deadline on it. Or here's exactly when we'll do what we're going to do. Or here's how long it's going to take us.
They said 4 weeks. They said that this was going to be done. I remember when I was on the flight to Canada on Monday, I got off the flight and I got like a text and it was from my girlfriend and she was like, oh, Trump says the war's ending. And I was like, what? What do you mean? What's happening? The war's over? The war's done? But no, the war's not done. The war is very much ongoing. It's widening. It's getting bigger. Iran is not stopping with the strikes. In fact, they're consistently holding them up. Israel is potentially launching a full-scale ground invasion of... Well, they seemed to begin it and then they didn't begin it. But Israel is probably going to launch a full-scale ground invasion of Lebanon. It's very much widening. I think it's 700 people killed in Lebanon, I think at least.
And then if you meet that, maybe you meet it. But if you don't, you fail. And if you're far beyond... We know exactly what we're shaping and why. We're sending those signals working across the interagency. The Strait of Hormuz is something we've paid attention to from the beginning. And the American people can rest assured we will ensure that our interests are advanced, no doubt. Yeah.
What? What is this?
Right here.
Mr. Secretary, you have said that the...
It's just like, all of this is just so questionable. How this is running, I don't know how this works. Also, by the way, this is the article that's been winding Hegseth up to no end. It's this one, which is from CNN. Top Trump officials acknowledged to lawmakers during recent classified briefings that they did not plan for the possibility of Iran closing the Strait in response to the attacks. They built up the biggest armada, the biggest military build-up in the Middle East since the invasion of Iraq, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They didn't plan for this. And also, the reason that they believe it, right? The reason that I find this so, like, potentially real is the argument made in CNN is that they were like, the Americans were apparently like, well, Iran's threatened it before, they've never done it, so why would they do it now? Why would that be a thing? And, yeah, obviously they did. Slop geopolitics accounts. I didn't see predictive history. Slop geopolitics accounts even took this account. I don't even know that they did. There are so many of these fucking idiots who run, like, military TikTok accounts. I remember there was this video of this girl, and she was like, the Houthis are not to be played with. And everyone was like, wrong! The US has carrier strike groups and all of this stuff, and the US will blow up the Houthis, and the Houthis will be gone tomorrow. And then it's like the reality of the situation is very different, because politics isn't all about just blowing people up and then you win. Like, what do you think happened in Afghanistan? The US lost. Like, there are no two ways to frame it. The only explanation for the US won is if you fundamentally alter the aims of the United States. But even if you do that, you don't alter the aims of the American government. The Afghanis, the Taliban. You know? They're still like, can we be sure there are no mines? Are you talking about in the Strait? That's the whole point. The mines don't even have to exist. The mines don't even have to exist. That's the funniest part. You don't really need the mines. Just say they're there. Put some in. Put some in. And that's it. Like, maybe put down a couple. And the US has to... Oh my fucking God. Also, did you know the US decommissioned all of its minesweepers? That was mentioned in one of the articles I read. Hold on, let me see where I can find that. Yeah, so in this... hold on. In this foreign policy article, Trump's efforts to defuse the oil spike aren't working. Hold on, let me see if I can see the effort. Mine. Look at this. The problem for the United States is that it decommissioned its last minesweepers in the Middle East earlier this year, and the British minesweeping capabilities, which were a huge assistance, have shrunken during efforts in 1991 and 2003, have shrunken dramatically. So, like, there's no one to do the minesweeping. So, I'm sorry, I don't think they have prepped. I think they would have just not decommissioned their minesweepers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. Yeah. Pete Hegseth and Doge looked through and they were like, minesweepers? No. That's woke. Playing PC games, that's nerdy. No. History have a point with Christian Zionism kind of being responsible for a war. I think the war is done without care for USA and geopolitical interest. No, I do agree with you, by the way. That's why China's not constantly at war. China's not constantly at war because it's more interested in gaining actual power rather than projecting power like the current US administration is, you know. And like the way in which the US has done it for years is just to authorize remote strikes that, you know, kill some Iranian general, some figure in some group. You do it from a remote location, and that's it. You don't have to put boots on the ground. You don't have to build up an armada. You don't have to spend tons of money. You can push back whatever you're fighting against, like whatever group you're fighting against. Trump doing this is like an attempt to show military power, and he's fucked it up. Like he genuinely has. That's it. China just wants to trade. China is so just the like. It's so interesting. Like Adam Tooze is like up there with people who are interesting to listen to about China in comparison to most Western academics and, you know, people who write articles. He is just there, like, he was talking about it, and just the scale and the scope of what China has in comparison to the US is just... He was talking about, like, how if Chinese fingers start to move in the oil market, that's when there will be major panic. But yeah, burning millions. Yeah, I did. Sushi, lobster. He spent, like... There's also an alleged by a congressman that Pete Hegseth spent $3.5 billion on cable for US soldiers. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Because, like, I would just give the US soldiers, like, you know, YouTube these days. Like, what the fuck are they watching on cable? Just let them watch some shit on YouTube, you know? Maybe give them one big TV. But let them watch, like, the Chris Guns the stream, and then maybe instead of going to war, they'll sit at home and... Or they'll develop... Or they'll use any skills that they had learned to change the world for the better. You know, maybe they could use some of that discipline. Also, by the way, so this article is, if you want to check it out, this is the... Oh, why am I having an issue? That's why. This is the CNN article about this. It's quite a long read, but it's fine. Well, it's not a long read, but it's like a decent sized read. It's fine. It's just like, yeah. They're just talking about the oil tanker situation. Oh, by the way, another quirky thing we missed, was Chris Wright, the energy secretary of the US, just going like, yeah, the US is actually escorting tankers through the Straits of Hormuz already. And then he deleted the tweet shortly after, and someone made millions and millions of dollars. Is Fox News actually cable? Is that true that you have to have cable to watch Fox News? Because even then, just give them YouTube, and then they can be like, the American soldier can be like, oh no, YouTube! Fucking idiots. Before they get drone striked in Kuwait. Idiot. Reminder, more families will have no snaps. Exactly. Also, someone pointed out, it's kind of fucking insane that they that they spent all this money when they could have hidden some away for, you know, the big war with Iran that was coming. But, you know, I guess it was more epic to give the boys a lobster tail before they got their legs blown up by a Shahed drone, you know, or a traumatic brain injury from playing with the Shaheds. Probably wasn't great. But someone was, this is apparently a podcast on China and what they're up to. So it's with Erica Downs, who is Columbia Energy. In the short term, the war will increase pain on China's economy. In the medium term, the war will likely accelerate global demand for Chinese batteries, solar panels, and more. I think this is, by the way, this is a really this is the really insane thing. Like, Cuba's proven the point of you need to accelerate right now towards solar power so you don't have to rely on the US and America, and you can never have your oil closed off. As quickly as you can, accelerate towards that and build clean energy. China is so far ahead. Was it counted? The pinnacle of leftist audio. Wait, is my audio sucking? Or is it shit now? What's going on? Hold on, I'm also gonna... Chris, the biggest whiner. They got oil to Russia and have accelerated. China. Oh, I thought you said. I read that as Chris is the biggest whiner, and I was like, wait, what? What am I whining about? You get a lot of reverb if you lean back. Okay, cool. I will fix it. You sound good. It's just little whiny baby Isaac. But I will get more used to it. Apart from little whiny baby Isaac. But we're attached to a load of Aegis down south who keep using it. Oh, are you talking about the UK? I mean, I don't know. It just feels like, what is this pathetic warring in a lost manner? Thank you very much. What is this pathetic manner of warring with China when they're just so far ahead, when they got all the renewables? What was the point anymore? Just accept it and live in this world. It's very obvious that politically it's smarter to stay away from America than it is to, get closer to them. I'm just going to go grab my water, which is some very, very cold. I got some Brita filtered water. Oh, yes. I don't own it. It was here anyway. Don't know if there's... Oh, I've just spilled it on my legs. That is not nice. Well, do you know what? One of the reasons that people might be migrating to China is because China might let you test on monkeys. You know, one of the really interesting things that Robert Kennedy has been up to, which I'm sure may split opinions in here, is Robert Kennedy has been banning primate testing on primates increasingly. And it's really tough because obviously, you know, I'm not so sure about like keeping animals in cages. I mean, I eat meat, so I probably shouldn't speak here. But anyway, Robert Kennedy has just been banning it, and it's tough because there's no comparison of testing on like primates, non-human primates, and the price of them has been increasing hugely since COVID. But China has been growing more, has been creating more and more of them, because that describes 1 billion different diseases. But yeah, I mean, you can't cure it, but I'm sure that like you're right about that. You can't cure it. You can't cure it. You're right, but you can. You know, you can treat it better, and it probably would. One would assume that in China they'll just get far ahead. There is no replacement. Oh, Elephant Fish, goated. Thank you so much for the incredibly kind donation. Everyone who was just gifted a membership, enjoy. That is an incredibly kind donation. Thank you so much, Elephant Fish. No, I would read them out, but there's so many. Just W, Elephant Fish, as always. As someone doing a PhD, the main thing that's attractive about China as young academics is that pay postdocs way better. Is that true? Scott, I mean, it's seriously a thing of like, the UK is fucked for that. I mean, I think America is like, possibly better, but yeah. Guys, spam the emotes in chat. Make my MacBook implode. If you guys spam enough emotes in the chat, you might actually cause like a fire on my legs. Guys, please don't spam the emotes. You are gonna burn my legs. My legs are burning. My legs are fucking burning. Elephant Fish, thank you so much. And Sophie, you're here. Hello. Oh my god, I think you started spamming and my PC is actually gonna explode. In the US, they make like 30k. Really? Really? I thought once you were getting tenure and shit out there, you were getting paid way better. In the UK, you know, in the UK, you are not getting paid very well. Worse, but Europe and America aren't as good as China. I didn't know that was the case. Oh my fucking god! You know you've nearly reached the golden Labubu. Not even exaggerating. You've almost hit the golden Labubu. Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh shit! Is my camera actually dropping? Okay, guys. Maybe stop. Shit. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't think it would actually happen. Okay, enough. In the US and at Uni's archives in the US. Okay, for real, we drop in the frame rate is dropping. How's the frame rate now? Let me have a look. But good to see you, Outer Signal. Yeah, my MacBook is charging. That's the major issue. Almost reached the golden Labubu. You have almost hit the golden Labubu, the 10-month golden, the 12-month golden Labubu. But Prevender, thanks for being here for so long, man. It's greatly appreciated. No more just the froggy. No more spamming. No, I know you did what you asked. Chris is down to his last frame. Yeah, guys, there's a fire in my laptop. Is it still bad? Okay. Holy shit. Wait, I have an idea. Just one look and I can hear a bell ring. Okay, right. I think probably that's the smartest way to fix it. Please tell us the movies you've seen. I'm just trying to fix my thing right now. Fucking You like a storyboard. Is it still just as bad? What the fuck? What? Can I put it in slow mode? Performance mode? Is there anything I can do? Shit. Oh no. Oh no! Sam Cedar, what a nightmare! Shit. Can you say death to America? Is that arrestable in the UK? Probably not arrestable in the UK. Shit. I think it was about 2 frames when I blinked. Yeah, you probably did. I don't know what's caused this to happen so badly. Can you guys still hear me? You're like a storyboard. Is it... Hold on. All movies now. Can I count each frame? Make it 144p. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Oh, look at my little image. I've had to make it into a little square. Oh, that's actually terrible. That's fucked me up. I was just sort of doing quite well. Count each frame. Make it 144. Oh no. Okay. I've got no tabs open. Thermal process. Oh shit. Yeah, that is what it is. It is so hot. Okay, fuck. Sorry, we broke your stream. I asked you to break my stream. Oh my god, yeah, it's my processor throttling. Ooh, probably. Ooh, it's not looking good. Count each frame. Make it 1. Oh my god, shit. Slideshow our face cam. Shit, I can't believe that killed it. So, that didn't work. Okay. Hi. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Ice your laptop. We broke the stream. You did break the stream. Fuck. Oh dear. Is this Intel or Mac? It's Mac. Is it time for a new laptop? Yeah, I mean, what can I do? Is it still fucked? Is that it? Ice your laptop. We broke the stream. Is there any fix for this? Do I just have to restart the stream? Or will that fix it? Maybe we should take a break. I don't know what I can do. Shit. Encoding error. You're good now. We're back. I mean, I'm holding my laptop now. Okay, right. Do not. Okay. Right. Maybe I have to put chat in slow mode. I don't know if I have enough people doing that. I know, thank you. Go outside, is Canada cold right now? Yeah, maybe that's the option. Pee on it, thank you. I've completely lost what the hell we were up to. Oh yeah. I mean, let's have a look at this. So this is the other major news. Right, we're back on track. We just lost like 100 viewers out of that. Were you serious about having the laptop on your lap because the vents are on the bottom normally? No, I wasn't. I don't actually have it on my lap. It just was, yeah. Give your laptop better ventilation. Maybe if I put it on a stand, it's just on a desktop right now. Chris is too popular and his watches are too swag. Yeah, I think that must be the issue. Tell us the movies. What movies? I mean, I've seen 2 movies. I saw High and Low, which I already mentioned. I fell asleep during. And I also fell and also watched Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, which was good. And yeah, I also saw a couple of other things. What else did I see? Oh, I watched the Martin Scorsese film After Hours. It's really, really good. We're so back. Time for celebration emotes. No. I think I can turn off reactions. Yeah, if I get a stand, maybe that'll help. I think I just need a new laptop. I want to see the new Louis Theroux thing. I think we'll watch that at some point today. And I don't know what film we're going to watch tonight. I don't even know if I am going to watch a film. You keep asking, but we haven't talked about it, so I don't know what we're planning on watching. You can use 4 upturned mugs. Great idea, mate. Yeah, I'll use 4 upturned mugs. I hadn't thought about that, but maybe it's an idea. The fans are in the bottom, propping the back edge up might help. Propping the back edge up. It's asking me to do a software update. Okay, right, sorry. So let's just quickly talk about this. Okay, all 6 crew members aboard the US KC-135 died in the incident. CENTCOM continues to say the loss of aircraft was not due to hostile or friendly fire, but has not provided... Oh my fucking god. Look at this fucking Dem account. Midas touch. May they rest in peace. Bro, they were refueling planes so they could go and bomb Iranian children. My first thought is not RIP to the servicemen. I'm going to be honest. I really don't think like RIP to them. I think maybe RIP to the kids that they blew up. I need to think about a new laptop. I was hoping to get by on this, but then I asked you guys to do something and it caused issues. Have you tried speaking to the laptop kindly? Yeah, I probably should have thought of that. Fentcom, yeah. All crew members of US KC-135 lost in Iraq confirmed deceased. Oh no! Tampa, Florida. All 6 crew members aboard a US KC-135 refueling aircraft that went down in western Iraq are now confirmed deceased. The aircraft was lost while flying over friendly airspace. March 12th during Operation Epic Fury. Calling it Epic Fury when it's now turned into this is just funny. Yeah, I've heard that the Iraqi resistance claimed it. I mean, look, I'm not putting it past the US to lie about this. I'm not putting it past the US to lie about how it got shut down. But they haven't said how it went down or what went wrong. There have been examples of it going down before. Oh. Hang on a second. There's also a KC-135 apparently damaged in Ben Gurion. Interesting. Tampa is a real shithole country. Tampa, Florida. I don't doubt that it is. I don't doubt that it is. Operation Epstein Duty 100. Mate, they've moved everything to fucking Florida because that's where Trump likes to be. Oh my god, as well. I love that little bit where they were like, it's anti-Semitic to call it Operation Epstein Fury, and that it was Iranian propaganda. Like, the bit that was Iranian propaganda, or the bit that I saw like a concerted messaging out of the Iranians, was calling the elite of America the Epstein class. But I'm sorry, that's not really propaganda. It kind of is, but it's not true. Like, let's put it frankly, who's involved with Epstein in the Trump admin? Okay, the people who's involved in with the Trump administration: Howard Lutnick, a minimum. Donald Trump, definitely. Who else? Then you have like J.D. Vance tangentially through Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel has his husband, I think, is involved in the Trump administration in some capacity. You have all of the big backers of Trump, many of whom were in some way involved with Epstein. And also you have all of the political elite in America for a considerable amount of time who'd met him. People like Clinton and stuff. Not Bush, it seems, but pretty obvious that the guy had a lot of power. The thing calling him the Epstein class is fair enough. Is Ben-Gvir dead or not? What's happened to Ben-Gvir? Oh shit, of course Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon. Yeah, he was like Epstein's BFF. Wait, hold on. Why are you saying Ben-Gvir's dead? Smotrich's son got injured. I hadn't heard anything about Ben-Gvir. They did kill some Shas guy, though. Why are you saying Ben Gvir's dead? No, Ben Gvir's not dead. They haven't been in some... They were in public a few days ago. Netanyahu is, I feel, more plausible, might be more likely to die at some point just because he's old. But Ben Gvir, I think, is alive and fine. I think he's probably doing horrible things. There's a rumour about him being killed. Yeah, there's always rumours. There was rumours Netanyahu was killed the other day because he wasn't appearing. I also think, by the way, one of the reasons is we need to talk about with Trump is, like, quite a lot of these people stop appearing because they're just kind of old now. You know, they're just old and that's it. They can't appear as much. Really? I've only seen the Epstein class from Iran-affiliated people. But I don't care. It's like, I saw it first emerge from them. Like, Morandi kept saying it, but it's good, it's smart, and it's accurate. He had a car accident last year and people use it to farm clicks. Apparently he was killed, but Israel says... Yeah, he did have that fucking car accident where he wasn't injured, which was shocking. Okay, all 6 crew members aboard a US... the aircraft was lost while flying over friendly airspace March 12th during Operation Epic Fury. The circumstances of the incident are under investigation. However, the loss of the aircraft was not due to hostile fire or friendly fire. The identities of the service members are being withheld until 24 hours after next of kin have been notified. So, I mean, what do we think about this? Do we think that this is just, that this is, as they're saying, that it's just, a refueling plane just sort of crashing? But yeah, do you think that that's the case, that it just crashed? I mean, it doesn't seem implausible, right, that it could have crashed, that could be what it boils down to. But simultaneously, it doesn't seem impossible that it could have been damaged. Oh, so this is the other one. This is the one that was damaged in... This is the one that Al Jazeera have mentioned, which is damaged in... this is the one that was damaged that's now in Israel. Epstein class is just another way to obfuscate the capitalist ruling class. Do you mean as like a way for... Yeah, I guess I kind of find it funny because... The Epstein class is just like good propaganda of pointing out, like, you know, hey, these people are very close with Epstein, and you know the Americans, the Iranians don't have as large links to the there's only Ahmadinejad, I think, is mentioned, but you're right, it does obfuscate like the capitalist class. You're right, so that is a good point. Former CIA analyst on another stream I saw today said he had information that the crew of the plane that had survived saw the flash of a missile hitting the plane that went down. Yeah, I mean... I think maybe you're actually right, Lenin Cake. Epstein class resonates much more with the lumpen proletariat than the imperialist bourgeoisie. I think you're probably right about that in the world we live in, like this internet age. And I think as well, like, associating America with Jeffrey Epstein really, really serves... Iran, of like pushing this notion of like Americans are demonic, you know, like Iran had like a real moral panic. I think I mentioned this the other day about rock music and it being like an example of the devil in Iranian society, and not even just like a Western devil, like the actual devil coming to the forefront. And yeah, I think when the Iranians are using it, they're using it because it's smart. And Epstein is like, you know what, though? You might make the argument that Epstein and his crimes are actually much more indicative of the ruling class, but most people don't want to understand it in that way. That Jeffrey Epstein committed a litany of crimes that most people just don't really give a shit about because they were like, you know, basically tax evading and stealing money from, you know, the poor American government, the betrayed American government. But yeah, sorry. So, I don't know, like, on this thing is... the rock music thing, I mean. It was after the revolution. There was someone talking about it on the Exeter Institute of Arab and Islamic Studies, talking about, like, Iran confronting the devil during the revolution. They were talking about rock music. Yeah, it's actually where the song Rock the Kaspar comes from, which has, like, a litany of bizarre Middle Eastern sort of language words. the sheikh he drove his Cadillac. Sharif don't like it, thinks it's not kosher. Rock the Casbah. Arrangements with security arrangements with Gulf money stay critical to Iran's current campaign. Yeah, I mean, Epstein was very interested in security and surveillance, and he was cutting lots of deals with the Gulf states. He's actually kind of quite critical to, like, you know, the expansion of DP World. That's where Epstein's, you know, probably biggest influence, biggest power broker was in the Middle East. He was really close with Sulayem. That was his closest friend in the Middle East. Sulayem probably at that point was more powerful and ended up being more powerful than Barak has. Epstein classes in the people who control means of material and cultural production who hold the real power. One of the big takeaways is how they operate without law or regard for people. Yeah. I think that you're probably right about that. Frank Zappa wrote multiple songs in response to Iran's crackdown on rock music. That makes so much more sense. I never had any idea what Rock the Casbah was about. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really make sense because he uses so many different words. Don't forget the creation of loot boxes. If the Iranians want the gamer proletariat to rise up, they need to start talking about the Epstein class forcing upon you paid for skins and ruining Call of Duty from its glory days. You know, taking down this amazing, beautiful game. Wow. Apparently the US has sent 10,000 interceptor drones to counter Iranian drones. Officially say the drones are offer a cheap play. Driscoll says each Merops interceptor costs 14,000 to 15,000. God, I bet these drones don't even fucking work. These Merop drones. So this photo is apparently real, by the way. This fucking US plane. By the way, why has it got this stupid Beale Eagle thing on it? What the hell is that all about? What the hell is this all about? I read somewhere that the guys regret making Rock the Casbah. Really? I mean, the Clash have quite a lot of anti-imperialist music. Obviously, Charlie Don't Surf is just anti-imperialist. Regret making Rock the... Oh my god, I've just searched this. Someone said 10 years ago, the Clash couldn't release Rock the Casbah today. I imagine they'd get in trouble for hate speech, have protesters interrupting their concerts, / receiving tons of legitimate death threats, and people force venues to not allow them to play. What is this? What is this? What do you mean someone releasing a song about... Ugh, God. Yeah. Sharif don't like it. It's a good song. I like the Rankin Roger version, but I doubt they regret making it. It's from Beale AFB. Oh, okay, it's just some lame... I don't know, like American planes just... Ugh. But well done, you fueled the plane whilst you bombed children. I haven't actually seen the pamphlets in Beirut. They were talking about them. Also, sorry, we'll move on in a second, but I love this. I loved this.
You think Putin is helping them?
I think he might be helping them a little bit, yeah, I guess. And he probably thinks we're helping Ukraine, right?
And you are, right?
Yeah, we're helping him also. And so he says that. And China would say the same thing, you know. It's like, hey, they do it and we do it, in all fairness.
You think Putin is helping?
By the way, I love these times where Trump is so stupid.
I think he might be helping them a little bit, yeah.
Enunciates this point of like, you know, Russia helps Iran, and so many people would tell you that that's immoral, that that's some like axis of evil, and it's some like, and it's you know like just this thing where like they shouldn't be interfering in other countries' politics and blah blah blah, but like. You know, Trump's just like, yeah, we do it, so, you know, fair enough, you know. It's kind of like, you kind of see this thing about, like, you help Israel, so what's morally wrong with Iran helping whoever they want that fight Israel? Any sign of Schrodinger's Ben-Gvir? You know what? That's perhaps a good way to phrase it. I haven't seen him in a few days, so I will choose to believe whatever I want. Unfortunately, I can't confirm that. I can't deny that. I can't say that publicly. But, you know, I like your way of phrasing it. But thanks for the donation, Thomas. Well, I mean, also, by the way, Putin, like, I love this analysis from, like, all of these. Definitely got to be. Look, I'm not someone, you know, as you guys know, I'm not like a big advocate for like I don't think invading another country is like great or just or moral, and I think like largely the whole spheres of influence argument, I don't really like it, and I think it leads down pretty problematic paths. That, you know, like Russia has an ability or is just allowed to remake and alter the politics of like countries in the vicinity on the basis of its own perceived threats. But one thing I will say is it is really, really, really comical watching these people who sit here and, like, bootlick the US whilst Trump just shows, yeah, we don't really give a shit about you. We'll tear up our support for the American government. We'll tear up our support for Ukraine at a moment's notice. It was only ever something... You do see how, like, once again, the criticism of what the US is doing, it's pretty obvious that this has nothing to do with morality, that the US doesn't support Ukraine because it was invaded by, you know, a country and that's against international law. It supports Ukraine because it's about degrading Russia and because it's in its own geopolitical interests. Me and Isaac, I think one of the next episodes we might do, or we've been talking about, is like, can interventionism ever be good? And like the ultimate answer is, it's just like, you know, maybe in the context of other places doing it, but it's really hard to find examples. Like, where I need to read about Vietnam in Cambodia and see like about, you know, what it was all about. But yeah, there was gunfire on the USS Ford. Really? Wow. Wasn't the point of the US in Turkey kicking off the Cuban Missile Crisis? US in Turkey. Wait, what at the point? I know what you're talking about. Wait, wasn't that at the point? Wasn't what at the point? Thank you for the thanks for the donation. Sorry, I'll stop slouching. More than pulling out defense. By the way, Fork, you asked where I am. I'm in Montreal currently, so hence why I am currently not at home and I've got a bit of a shitty setup. Anyone who's talking about and also, by the way, thanks for the donation, Thomas. Wasn't that the point of the Cuban? Wasn't that the point of the Cuban Missile kicking off the Cuban? What did you mean by that? Invading Ukraine isn't inexcusable, but pretending Ukraine isn't just a tool for the US to economically grind down a rival is laughable. Yeah, I think also that phrasing it like, you know, that this is all moral and just, like, it's funny, like, people were, like, vindicated again, or Tanky's vindicated, because there was a, because there was Mark Rutte who was just like, yeah, we do what the Americans tell us. They do what the Americans tell us, and that's it. They're right. Encroaching on the Soviet Union, Tabernacle. Oh, what, you mean in terms of, like, the US being in Turkey was meddling with the politics of the Soviet Union? Ukraine was good for laundering money, tax money into defense contractors' pockets. In the beginning, the US was spending the exact same amount on Ukraine, more exact same amounts in Ukraine than it was than what it was in Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, probably true. Like, I think that that's a really good point. I think like, you know, Abdul Razak Takriti said this. If everyone goes like, the Iraq War cost so much money, where did it go? Where did, you know, the trillions go? Where did that money end up going? Who did it go to? Why is that the question that we never ask? Why do we just like whine about like, this cost lots of money? Well, it did, but the money didn't disappear. The US has proven that it does intervention based on how it benefits them. Yeah, that was, I mean, yeah, it's obviously like how we view the Cuban Missile Crisis. Remember how I was taught it in school? It's just kind of like the Soviets were like escalating World War, and they were like, oh, well, the US, you know, did have some missiles, but the Soviets. And it's like, pretty interesting one here, mate. Also, even though the USA does it for the wrong reasons, Ukraine needs the help. That being said, the US will... Yeah. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that. I think that the problem, though, is, Max, I just don't think that we can really sit here and be like, the US is doing this for good reasons, or that this makes the US the good guys, and that this is a reason to act as if, you know, people who are against the US are just barbarous, evil monsters. Because it's pretty obvious the US only does things when it has an interest. Read Lydia's message. A friend states that Strummer wept when he heard that the phrase "Rock the Casbah" had been written on the American bomb. Oh, wow! Thank you for that. That's incredibly interesting. Sorry, the messages are just going quickly, and yeah. You know what's happening to Cuba? Devastating. I mean, yeah, what is happening to Cuba is devastating. It's awful. It's a terrible situation, and you know, the fact that the US can just do that, and that's kind of accepted, and most people aren't interested because it's not a spectacular bombing, like a spectacularly violent bombing raid that no one really cares. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The working class should stop killing each other under the guise of toxic nationalism. Yeah, hence why the hence why what the fucking problem is, right? Like, hence why the Nazis hated the communists so much. Because what did the communists want? They didn't really believe in, like, the hyper-nationalism of the US, and they believed people were just part of, like, one united global people, rather than from specific countries and should be fighting with each other. They shut down our city. Keir Starmer, it was for Keir Starmer, it was fucked. Who shut down your city for Keir Starmer? What? Who did? Keir Starmer came to Cork Island yesterday. There was British snipers on the roofs of our city. They even flew the butcher's apron on City Hall. Old woman pushed by cops on horses. Really? Really? Fucking hell. Imagine shutting it down for Keir Starmer. Who is there to go see him? Because surely they're like, you know, like, like people who are in favour of, like, you know, the British. There's not going to be anyone who's in favour of Keir Starmer, surely, because they're all racist, and Starmer ain't racist enough. Well, not everyone's racist who believes in that, but, you know, a lot of people would be. They shut down our... sorry, yeah. Where were you, dude? I came to Montreal when I got here. I think I'm going to try and go live tomorrow, but I'll let you know about the time. But the hair looks great, very fluffy. Thank you. Yeah, like, I don't know. Did he get, like, a good reception? Like, how many people would be there, like, fucking celebrating and loving him? I don't know. There was something someone asked me to look at that I really wanted to look into. Oh, Beirut leaflet. Oh, wait.
The Israelis...
Hold on, I just want to watch this. Someone says that Fox News is apparently preconditioning for boots on the ground. I mean, I'm sure some of you have seen this. I think the US is going to put boots on the ground, by the way.
The Israelis might have a different agenda, full-on regime change. And they won't stop going down the kill chain until they find a guy they like. That could take a while longer than President Trump has patience for. We might not get what we got in Venezuela, but as long as Iran's completely disarmed and can't threaten America and the Strait with missiles, drones, and nukes, the president will take the win. U.S. intelligence believe the Iranians squirreled away what's left of their uranium into what's known as Pickaxe Mountain, a nearly impenetrable bunker buried deep in granite where evil scientists have been working around the clock, cobbling back together a program.
Did you hear that? This guy goes, evil scientists have been working. Who does he think they are? Like the guy who made Flubber? Evil scientists are making... The evil Iranian scientists are making Flubber. Or the guy who steals your guns in 5 on Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I'm sorry, just like the thought of like how fucking stupid are. They definitely all are just imagining like some evil guy. Oh, fucker, how is it lagging? How bad is it?
That was obliterated during Operation Midnight Hammer. The bunker busters might not be able to do the trick. Reports say special forces might have to be inserted to physically shut it down on the ground. And we also have Karg Island, 15 miles off Iran's coast, their main export terminal, essentially the country's cash register. Karg's Iran's oil lifeline. If we seize it, it's over. That option remains on the table. Both sides waiting to see who blinks first. So far, the president says, in a way, we've already won.
Hmm. I don't know what's causing this. It seems to be whenever there's a spike in
And we also
viewership.
have Carg Island. 15
It seems to be whenever there's a spike in viewership. Okay, it looks like I'm just going to have to buy a fucking new laptop, which sucks. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't want to do this. I thought we'd be able to hold out, and it worked perfectly. And now we're just at this. We're just at this point. You can hear me, so keep going. I mean, crazy that this guy's just sat here talking like this. I guess I'm going to have to buy a new laptop, which is annoying. Not watching clips. Well, the thing is it seems to work. It just keeps telling me that there's an encoding error, which is caused by video settings being too high. macOS capture settings. Okay, hold on. What the fuck is going on here? No, that's not what I want. I want to do winter count. Oh shit, am I still lagging?
miles off Iran's coast. Their main
Mornings and get it done with like video settings being too high. Oh fuck me. Ugh, this is so annoying. I'm gonna have to buy a new laptop. I'm just gonna have to go buy a new laptop. This is actually so frustrating. Oh, I really enjoy streaming and it's fine. Like the situation's fine, but it just melts down and I can't. Encoding is overloaded. Try turning down or using a faster encoding preset. Show cursor, hide OBS from capture. So maybe if I turn this off. Yeah, I wish I could get a PC, but it's not that easy. Like, I would be able to get a decent PC, but but like, if I get a second PC, it's like, sorry, I can't just keep a PC here. It's too much effort for my girlfriend to drag around. Use a library PC. Yeah, man, I'm gonna stream in the library and just fucking shout in the library. Be like, fuck you. Just wait. I can't get a PC, though. Like, I can't do that. This is just, like, kind of the bind I'm stuck in right now. I can't get a PC and just leave it out here. I know I've probably returned to normal, but it's not watching videos as well. I wasn't watching videos. I don't know what to do here. Maybe I should talk to Henry again and see if he has any ideas on what might be fixable and what might not be. But I don't know. It's pretty frustrating. Don't buy a new laptop. What can I do though? Like what can I do? Also, what happened to the second monitor? I have a second monitor. The second monitor's here. It's just this person who's where I am has a second monitor already, and we're using theirs, not mine instead. But it's not to do with it. It doesn't seem to be to do with. It says it's an encoding error to do with my video settings. So maybe if I lower those, but I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure there's an option to fix this. To be honest, I haven't got loads of tabs open. I haven't done anything wrong. You can also get a mini build, but that's the issue. Like, what do I do? The mini build will just be a fucking nightmare to be dragged around. Even that is just like, it's too much to just like sort of leave and be to like my girlfriend. Oh yeah, you just deal with that. It's not fair, you know. It's tough. It's tough. It's a bit of a bind. Anyway, guys, does your Mac have a fan? Yeah, the Mac does have a fan, but it's an encoding error, so maybe there's a fix for it. I don't know. Stream from your phone, live from my. I'm not streaming from my fucking phone. Streaming from my phone is so stupid. Buy a second MacBook. If I'm buying a second laptop, it's not going to be a MacBook. I haven't told them to decode these nuts. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end up the stream here. Oh, fuck off. I'm going to end up the stream here and close it for today. I'm not going to be live tomorrow, but I will be again live on Sunday and we'll get it working. Don't worry about the lag. We'll fix it. We'll sort it. We'll talk more about Iran. I wish I could go live tomorrow, but I'm going to be busy. Just keep updated with the YouTube page. That's where I'll be telling you whether I'm live or not. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for all the donation. I'm sorry about the issues that we had. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys later and have a great day. for my girlfriend to drag around. Yeah, we'll talk more about Iran. I wish I could go live tomorrow, but I'm going to be busy. Just keep updated with the YouTube page. That's where I'll be telling you whether I'm live or not. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for all the donation. I'm sorry about the